data available at that time.
Let's go to Fred in Denver. Hey, Fred, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, listen, it's an honor to speak to you. I wanted to tell you, I'm one of your successful tigers, and the reason that I'm successful, I probably read a couple hundred books on technical analysis over the last 10 or 15 years. I'm a retired public school teacher, and I heard you talking today on your earlier show that if you really knew what you were doing in this business, you probably wouldn't have to work again. And I wake up every morning, I look at your book, I can tell you, every other author is just pales in comparison to your clarity. I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, I really appreciate it.
And now, here's Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 2 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone had a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great night, folks. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. The art of a relationship is the whole mastery. And the only way to reach mastery is with practice. To master a relationship is therefore about action. It's not about attaining knowledge. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow up 153, Nasdaq up 68, S&P's up 24, gold contract down $38, trading at $1,619 an ounce. Silver down 79 cents at $30 an ounce. Platinum off $36 at $1,470 an ounce. Copper down 3 pennies at $3.12 a pound. Light sweet crude down, 44 cents, trading out at $77.18. Bonds down 20 ticks at 144.21. Dollar index down 31 ticks at 79.62. Euro up 14 ticks at 133.26. And the yen up 29 ticks, trading out at 76.92. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. What do you have? Well, folks, out here today, we get the whole ball of wax. All we needed is the rejection of price, and you have it, and you have it in spades. So let's go through it all. Okay, so S&Ps. S&Ps today get down to 1,074. 1,074, of course, broke all the swing points. Got back inside the range. The range, folks, is 1,001. What do? We do 1.6 billion versus 2.5. Now, if you remember from yesterday, what we had is that we already had the downticks in. We had the trend in. It had all the above except for rejection of price. Got the rejection of price. You're 11.23. 1230 is coming at us, folks. It's going to be wild. It's going to be a wild one, too, because what you had, well, here, let me go through the whole deal first. Dow Industrials next. We take a look at the Dow Industrials. What you have with the Dow is this. Dow gets down to 10,404, rejects the price, gets back inside the range being 10,604. You know, you talk about a price spread. The price spread out here today, you got to love it. The price spread out here today, folks, was 400 points in the Dow. Bottom line, same deal. Dow's on its way back up to this 11,700 area. It's another $900. We take a look at the composite. NASDAQ composite, what does it do? Blows out the low, which is 2331. Gets back inside the low, does 3 billion versus 4 billion. So, inside the context, what you had is this. You had, well, we can do the small caps too, because they're all in harmony. IWM, actually we'll go right over to the Russell 2000. We look at the Russell 2000. Russell 2000 got down to a price point today of 601. Got back inside the 639. Did it with lighter volume. That means the Russell wants to run it back all the way back up to the 749 area. Now, what we also had out here today, too, folks, is this. And this is important to understand in the context of how this run is going to be kind of, well, here, let's do the bonds and let's do the, we go over to the bonds. You go over to the bond market. What you had, we'll take the look at the 30-year bond. We did 394,000 contracts. It got into the price point today of 146.13. The high is 147. We had 500,000, 546 out there. Rejected it. Bonds are on their way back down to 139. I suspect they're going to try to get it to 138, somewhere around there. Dollar index. Now we take a look at the dollar, and these are all the moving parts, folks. So what the dollar index did, dollar index, you remember yesterday it had taken the swing out, did it with lighter volume. Bottom line, dollar got to a higher high today, rejected the higher high, pulled back down. And what you want to remember is this. It's king dollar, folks. It's go long America, and that's a beautiful thing for all our communities. That's the real bottom line, which is just dynamite. Because the dollar itself now, all the dollar's doing is setting up a B to a C of an ABC up. You know, but we're going to see some dynamic markets. There's no doubt about it. Now, let's go back to the S&P for a second, because I want to show you something here. So this is what we also had happen intraday, which is really important to understand, and what could, very well could, if we get a day of strength coming out of here, this thing can go a lot higher than 1230, and this is why. I don't see highs. But here, let me walk you through this. We had the whole context of a bottom set up yesterday. This morning was the same deal. You know, there was breaking the lows, breaking with lighter volume. And starting yesterday, though, you had a couple large buyers in the marketplace, but you had failures. You know, you have the large buyer come in, failed. Large buyer come in, failed. Now, what we had here today, and I've seen, and this happened twice, is that if we go look at the Qs, watch this for a second. If you're watching Tiger TV now, what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to put up the 3 Qs and show you what we had happen here. What we had is that when we started out this morning, you know, you're at 50.25. You do a decent acceleration up to 51.90. At 2:30, you had a downdraft. Now that downdraft, you know, came down fast. What happens in a downdraft like that, when you're near bottoms, is this: is that the bulls turn around and say, "Oh no, man, we're going downtown again." The bears turn around and put more bearish positions on. When I saw that happen, I says, "Oh, we're really close." And the reason I said we're really close is that that's what it takes in order to get a very fast acceleration off the bottom. What it takes is basically the bears and bulls intraday being wrong. And that's exactly what you had set up at the end. What you had is that the bears had kept throwing it at it, the bulls got paranoid, the bears threw. Bottom line, what you had there at the end. Now, to bring this one more step, this is what you're looking at. When that actually happens, okay, you get a much more powerful rally. That's what also happens. You know, so this is all you need, you know, inside of. Okay, so if we look at the S&Ps, all you really need to get this up to, see, I can make a case on this. You're gonna love this, folks. This is a market. You can make a case that the S&P can get to 1294. You know, we'll see how it hits the top. Now, that case, everyone better keep in mind, that case there has not put the 825 out of play. It's just the way that this is working out. That's how this is shaking out. So we'll see where the rest of the deal goes. But you have wide price spreads in a big way, folks. And that means there's lots of opportunity out there. Gold contract. This is what we did with the gold contract today. You come down to 1597. You closed out at 1620. We did 188,000 contracts. Now, that's not bad, okay? It looks that this 1535 wants to get tested. Let's go over to the strongest gold equity that there has been, and you can see that in the gold equity market, folks, okay, it's a freight train, and don't get in front of it. Let me tell you something, okay? You had GOLD today, Rango Resources, takes the swing out with about the same amount of volume. Now, that's the swing that's going back from the 23rd. You know, there's larger swings out there, but that in itself is saying, okay, number one, if you're itching to get something, let this test itself out again. Number one, it should test out the bottoms. Number two, though, which is more important, is that many of these broke out swings today, and they broke them out with some good volume. You know, what you can also learn out of this, which is just amazing, too, by the way, this is the good part of it, and this is where it gets a little deviant, that the gold market, folks, goes with the general market. the amazing part about it, I remember when I first got in the market, it's like the gold market, it's like, you know, you get in the gold market because it doesn't go with the general market. Well, you know what? It does. It does. That's the real bottom line. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Let's take a look at some of the high-volume stocks out here. We had BAC was up 23 cents. You had Microsoft up 81. Citigroup was up $1.28. Apple was down 2.10. If you want to see something absolutely amazing, Apple today, folks, okay, this is just wild. You talk about an acceleration. A price swing, Apple had a 30-point price swing today, down to 354, closed out at 372. That particular price swing, by the way, folks, took place in all of, let's see, so the downdraft started at 150, and bottom line is that by 4 o'clock it was right back up at 373. So it goes from 373, 354, goes right back topside. Yeah, and as one of our tigers, Z in the Den, is saying, and it didn't break the swing again. It did not break the swing. Apple, you know, by the way, folks, that's why it's not a sharp position. Apple has not broken a swing all the way up. You know, the swing point is 353.02. It went to 354.24. So bottom line is that, you know, until you break a swing on the way back downtown, you don't go short of stock. And Apple's a perfect situation right there. We had IBM up 145. Honeywell was up 134. JP Morgan was up 186. Let's go take a look at the XLF. Okay, so the financials, the XLF out here, this is what we did. XLF, they're not inside, and this is what's going to be good. What you're going to want to keep your eye on are these financials. Inside the range for the financials would be 1204. Right now, you still only 1173. We go to the XLE. We take a look at the energies. Energies out here, we're at 5837. That's going to have to get inside 62 to get inside the range. So, yeah, there's a lot of sectors that need some big help out here, folks. There's no two ways about it. We go take a look at the small caps. Now, what's interesting with the small caps is that we'll use the IWM this time. You take a look at the small caps. Very fast acceleration. Got right back inside that 63.76. That's saying the small cap's going to make the run for 73. And what you'll see here, folks, okay, this is going to be a very fast run. This is not going to be a short run. You'll, particularly being because the whole rest of the world was down last night, was down today. When we snack back like this, you'll see the futures up in Asia big time tonight. You'll see the futures up tomorrow because the bottom line is that there's going to be the majority of folks caught on the wrong side of this deal, and they're going to close out ASAP. But on a downdraft like this, they won't close out as quick as they could.